if you're saying reasons he doesn't want to play, it kind of sounds, at least in that moment, that he doesn't love how he's being used either.
And I know, Mike, whenever we were discussing this with Sean and RJ this morning, the conversation really was narrowly focused to this game. And I guess I'm still in a broader look on this whenever I say, dude, like, do you expect the ball in the fourth quarter? Like, do you expect to be given that role when sometimes we can't rely on you? Like, how are we going to be able to win game? We won a game against the best team in the NBA without you the other night. Like, we just beat the best team in the NBA, and you were not even on the court because of your wrist injury, and then you want to bounce back against a crappy team, and you want some spotlight. That's where, and again, that's a big picture thing for me. It's not narrowly focused on the game itself and what was going on throughout that game, what kind of rhythm they had. But I guess I'm still in a mindset of KP really hasn't earned anything from me yet as a fan, and I don't know if he's earned it. I mean, maybe they're saying, Rick says all the right things, but has he really earned Rick's respect? Because Rick had Dirk. Dirk played through everything. Dirk gave everything to the game, and Rick's like, I want you to be like that dude. And I feel, and I don't think Rick likes to. I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't think he likes to pee foot around on a lot of things.
Gosh, we're not the best show if you're looking for KP defending show, or like KP is great, KP is a future all-star, KP is a piece to a championship team and a key piece to a championship team. I don't think we're the best show right now to be that. Because I'm not a big fan of his. I think that he's a good basketball player. I think that he is injury prone. I think that he's not injury prone. He's just injured often, Mike. Yeah. I think that he is not a clutch player. I don't think he's going to come through big in games. I don't think he wants the ball. It's not that he doesn't want the ball, but he doesn't really demand the ball, want the ball. I don't think that the coach is the biggest fan of his, or he wouldn't sit him out for a whole game in Boston. He wouldn't not run plays for him last night against Houston. But I think that Carlisle will never say those things. It's not smart to say those things. I remember, why won't they bash Rondo for quitting on the team in the playoffs? And I asked people really close to the situation. They said it's just not good PR to do that. It's not good when you're recruiting other players. They told him to leave the team. We don't even want you to play against the Houston Rockets anymore. We'd rather lose the series then, and they were going to lose anyways, but we can't have you around the team anymore. You literally quit on the team in the middle of a playoff game, but they were never going to say that publicly. They're just like, it just doesn't do us any good as an organization. Yeah. And I don't think it does them any good as an organization when they're probably going to try, well, I don't know. I think they might try to move him in the offseason.
Tell me, can I stop you there real quick, Mike? Tell me more about that, because they swear up and down, left to right, that there was no chance in hell they were going to trade him mid-season. So how do you change that quickly from everyone is stupid, we're not going to trade KP, and then in half a season be like, yeah, okay.
Well, there were enough credible reporters out there that the Mavericks were seeing what they could get for KP.
Okay.
The Mavericks, look, it's a job of lying. Donnie Nelson, Rick Carlisle, Mark Cuban. Part of the job is being able to lie and convince people that you're telling the truth when you're lying. And so they were lying when they said that they weren't shopping KP or they're not trading KP at all. They were seeing what was available, and when they got really bad offers back or really bad responses of what KP's market was, you're now into the spot where, all right, we were never trading him. That dude's lying. They're lying about this. He's unbelievable. He's great. And then a few days later, no, the matchup isn't right in Boston. No, we're not running any plays for him in Houston. Which one is it? Is he that great? Or if he's that great, why are you sitting him out? Why are you not running any plays for him? Type of deal. So it's tough. I think that for this team to really become a championship contender, either KP has to become your third or fourth player, or you need to move him for a better second player.
I think third for sure. I could see him being a third.
How are you going to get a second? How are you going to find a second player, Kevin?
I mean,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come off so aggressive.
It
This
might
was not
be
aimed
an
at you.
It's
It
a
might
fair
not be an
question.
established second player, but it might be somebody who you see can play into that role, and another team's having an issue with their guy, if that makes sense. Like, we're trading our issue for your issue, and hopefully your issue works out here and our issue works out there.
Can I point out two specific players that I think about that jump to mind that maybe didn't, for some people at some point, fit that prototypical second guy? Is before the season, it was Zach LaVine, and during the season, it was John Collins. Because remember, we were told by people inside the Mavericks that they did not even consider Zach LaVine because he was not good enough to be part of that trio. And he's easily better than KP. It's not even close. He's better than KP. And then the other one, John Collins, strikes me to what you just said, because John Collins is the kind of person who could come here because he's not the best player on the market, but he would have to step up his game and become something, because I don't just see, Corey, that second player that know they would instantly be the second best player in your team just coming here.
And maybe this is something to work out in the offseason is I just wonder if John Collins, they don't love him because he's not a great three-point shooter. He's not a guy that spreads the floor tremendously, and they do have Clint Capella on the team. Maybe they look at Porzingis and go, Porzingis fits way better with a guy like Clint Capella. This is why I never understood we hate Andre Drummond, but maybe they look at, I'm just throwing out a maybe here, maybe Atlanta looks at Porzingis as a much better fit with Clint Capella on the court than John Collins and Clint Capella on the court. And I'm not saying it would be a one-for-one trade. I think in that situation, maybe you even get, I don't know, Cam Reddish thrown in. I'm not saying I'm in love with Cam Reddish. I think that he's
struggled a lot too.
He's not going to be a good player in the NBA, but maybe you get something thrown into it because they're getting what would be considered, when they're both on the court, Porzingis to be the better player, but you would look at it going, well, what does it matter? He's not on the court. And now with this wrist thing, I think this is big, Dallas Maverick fans. I really think it's 50-50 he's able to play effective basketball in the playoffs, because this guy is a hurt guy, and now we have to deal with a wrist the rest of the way, and you never know when it's going to be so painful that he can't play anymore and he's going to have surgery on it.